I would like to introduce Shelley Walker up to the stage. She's going to be our moderator for the panel, and it's going to be on human trafficking and the work that TAT Canada and the Women's Trucking Federation of Canada are doing through their No Human Trafficking program, and how we need to really share this information and get more people involved in this crime.
Shelley, it's all yours.
Thanks, Keith. So I'm just going to give you a brief introduction into what human trafficking is. For those that aren't aware, today is National Human Trafficking Awareness Day in Canada. This is the third year for this designation in Canada. A lot of people are questioning why in the US it's January 11th, in Canada it's February 22nd. What can I say? Us Canucks, we like to do our own thing. So they made their own special day. I can tell you to watch for announcements that'll be coming down from the federal government in the next upcoming few weeks, because they're going to make some big changes to human trafficking in the Criminal Code of Canada in regards to human trafficking here in Canada. So that's pretty exciting. What's not so exciting right now is the fact that a new labor trafficking report was put out by the Canadian Centre to End Human Trafficking. Labor trafficking has greatly increased in Canada. And, you know, it's something that we all need to be aware of, and I would encourage you to follow the Canadian Centre to End Human Trafficking over the next probably month or so. Where are we going to this one now? As to what's going on. So sometimes we find that people do not know the difference in trafficking. So I'm going to just give you a quick explanation of what domestic trafficking is, and then what international trafficking is, and then smuggling, because people often confuse them. So domestic trafficking occurs when the entirety of the crime occurs within a country's borders and no international boundary is crossed. And I can tell you that most of the trafficking that occurs in Canada is domestic. So it happens within our borders. These are people that are not brought in from somewhere else. International trafficking occurs when they are transporting citizens of one country into another for the purpose of exploitation. And smuggling, which sometimes people will say, oh, did you see they busted all those human traffickers for bringing those people across the border down to Texas? That is migrant smuggling, which does not fall under human trafficking. So today we have some really great panelists. So I will start with introducing Samantha Clark from Knowledge Surge. Each one of the ladies will tell you who they are, what they do, and why they're involved in human trafficking.
So my name is Samantha Clark. Thank you, Shelley. I am the Director of Commercial Solutions for DriveWise Knowledge Surge in Barrie. I've been in the truck training industry for about 12 years now. Love every minute of it. And I'm also Executive Director for Women's Trucking Federation of Canada and heavily involved in the No Human Trafficking Committee. Shelley asked me to get involved a couple of years ago, and of course I went in, and pretty passionate about what we do and spreading the word.
Thank you. I'm Laura Dickinson. I am the Vice President of Safety and Compliance for North America for Day & Ross. I have been in the trucking industry and with Day & Ross for 14 years, and I co-chair the Truckers Against Trafficking Canada Council Committee with Heather, and also as part of my daily work at Day & Ross, I am responsible for our partnership with Truckers Against Trafficking, and what the work that we do to help get the message out there that human trafficking is a problem and what we can do as an industry to stop it.
Good afternoon. My name is Wilna Stewart-Franklin. I am the Community Relations Director for UPS Canada, and I represent the UPS Foundation here in Canada. I've worked for UPS, first with the airline and then in operations for, this is my 15th year now. And part of this new role that I've taken on is about not just fostering philanthropy and volunteerism, but it's really about engagement and education. And over the last 18 months or so, I've become involved as well with Truckers Against Trafficking. It's an organization that our organization in the US in particular has been very has had a long-standing partnership with. And so part of the reason why I'm here and involved in this panel is because I too believe in the importance of educating and sharing awareness.
Good afternoon. I'm Heather Mawitty, and I'm the Director of Human Resources for the Kriska Transportation Group. As Laura mentioned, I'm part of the TAT Canada Committee. I co-chair with Laura. And I just want to thank the TTSAO and Shelley for putting this on the agenda today. As Shelley mentioned, it is National Human Trafficking Awareness Day, and I know that the TTSAO has had speakers in the past from various groups and survivor speakers at your events, but it's important that we can keep this important topic on the agenda. So thank you.
Laura, why do you feel it's important to train your drivers on human trafficking awareness?
Well, it's a fairly well-known fact that human traffickers use our roadways, rest stops, truck stops, rest areas as, methods for transporting and trafficking their victims. And truck drivers are the eyes and ears of our roads. Those are the places that they are every single day. So having the ability to use those eyes and ears every single day to look out for things and be aware of what's happening in our world and in our own towns is incredibly helpful to hopefully put an end to this and to help some of the victims that are out there.
Heather?
Yeah, I think Laura spoke really well to that. But what I will say, and the uncomfortable part of this topic is people in our industry buy sex at truck stops and rest areas. And so not only do we want to educate our drivers on what to look for in signs of individuals being there against their will, but also, too, that type of education helps us end the market for human trafficking. And if there's no market, then there will be no victims. So that education and awareness is very important for our drivers in this industry.
Bellman?
So part of the reason why I feel it's important, UPS delivers millions of packages every single day. And those drivers on those routes, they've had those routes for long-term time. So they, as Laura said, are the eyes and ears of their neighborhoods. They interact with their customers. They interact with businesses every single day. So they have a really great opportunity to see and hear and know when something's not quite right. So giving them that awareness training, like we're already teaching them about safety. We ask them to be safe with their vehicles. We ask them to be safe in neighborhoods around people. And this training is just an extension of safety because it's about community safety, about ensuring that we have safe, secure neighborhoods, and we're not allowing this scourge really to take hold and take root.
I can tell you, I was just at a conference last week where we discussed the courier drivers and the important role that they can play, almost similar to school bus drivers who see the same kids at the same bus stops every day. So they often recognize when kids are repetitively not getting on the bus or they're not going to school. So I think the courier industry is a really important industry beside the other parts of trucking that are raising this awareness for human trafficking.